I have another question for you, Anu. What's one shot that you maybe missed that still like troubles you till this day?
So this is before I became a photographer, or
Okay.
rather took up the photography journey. I was on a holiday. It was just a weekend getaway from Delhi. I was in Corbett. We were driving down one of these forested roads.
Okay.
It was getting dark, and the brakes on the car that were in got slammed, and
Wow.
we kind of, and because it was a leisurely drive, there were no seat belts on. Like literally went and slammed into the dashboard of the car, and to question the driver, why did you do that? And he says there's a tiger
Oh,
in
okay.
the middle of the road. And that time I just had a small point and shoot.
Oh, wow.
It was getting dark. I had no idea about photography. And I was really scared to even, roll down the window and take a
Yeah.
picture. So I tried to take a picture, and then normally your point and shoot cameras, when they detect it's low light,
Auto flash.
auto flash.
Yeah.
And what happens when you're doing an auto flash through the
It reflects.
windscreen?
Yeah.
It reflects. So I didn't get that. And I was like, what is wrong with this camera? I don't need the flash on. And I, kind of turned the flap back off, and we drive a little more. The tigers cross the road.
Yeah.
And we decide to wait and see if we can see the tiger again. And she kind of peeks out from the bushes. And then I see another small face, and I see
Oh,
another
wow.
small face. So there were 3 cubs and the mother. I tried taking a picture again. It's the same story that repeated.
Oh.
So I wasn't a photographer then. I had no idea what I was doing, but I really regret that.
Okay. So, that makes sense because I think a lot of us start our journey with point and shoots. Like, even I had a point and shoot. My brother was actually shooting with a professional camera back then. So I believe he used to have a Nikon back in the day. And, but I used to basically shoot with a point and shoot. And then I thought, okay, I had a Nokia Lumia, since you were with Microsoft, I had a Nokia Lumia 950 XL later, first a 920, then a 1520, then a 950 XL. And honestly, at that point, I used to think, okay, these camera phones are fine. But I actually got into using professional gear when I got like a Sony NEX5.
Yeah.
So I got NEX5, and then I was like, okay, wow, this is phenomenal. And I haven't studied photography professionally. In fact, that's a question I had
Neither
for you.
have I.
Oh, wow, okay. I guess that's another thing we have in common. But except that Anu obviously has shot a lot of cooler things. But yeah, so then I switched from there, and then that's when I began only basically sticking to professional gear.
Yeah.
Because it makes a major difference. I honestly say people are willing to spend, lakhs of rupees on certain things. Like they might spend lakhs of rupees on shoes, on clothes, on brands. That's their personal choice. But I say if you want to capture memories, just buy one camera. Okay, just buy one camera, one lens. You don't have to buy full frame. You don't have to buy even a medium format or whatever, Hasselblad. You don't have to buy anything that's like state of the art. But even if you buy a mid-range camera, like you buy a Fujifilm with an APS-C sensor, you will still not regret it. That's my personal belief.
When I tell people the same thing, I never use the word buy. I say invest in a good camera.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right word, actually.
Yeah.
You should invest in a good camera because your memories are actually priceless.
Exactly.
You're not going to get those memories again. And later on, when you look at your phone photos and you think, okay, you won't actually realize it because you're so used to the standard being baseline. You will not understand that there's actually a level much above that you're not exposed to. And it's not about editing. Like even if you shoot in JPEG, like a lot of people don't want to edit, right? They're like, I'm not going to sit on my computer, sit down and edit for like an hour, 2 hours. Even if you shoot in JPEG, that's fine. You will still get like phenomenal images compared to like what you would get on a phone.
Right.
Like, yeah. In fact, phones, coming back to that, in fact, phones nowadays, apps have started basically coming up with a mode, which is basically like it strips away all the processing. So a couple of apps have started doing that, and I anyway shoot RAW. So-called RAW on a phone, but I anyway shoot RAW. Although I don't shoot in 48 megapixels, I shoot in 12 megapixels because honestly, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's 48 megapixels. It's still coming from like a sensor that's like literally that
Tiny.
small.
It's not built sturdy enough to handle that.
Yeah. Although I won't lie, there's certain for social media. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to test myself. Like when I went to London, I shot maybe 1,200, 1,400 photos with my camera, but I shot a lot of photos with my phone because I wanted to actually see how much I can push myself.
Okay.
Right? Because with a camera, I know I'm going to get like great results, but with a phone, I have to figure out a few things, right? Like there was like one night it was raining, and I walked out with my phone, and I took a lot of shots with my phone also. So this is going to sound like it's a pain. So what I do is I'll go take a shot with my phone. Then I'll put the phone in my pocket. Then I'll take out my camera. I'll take the same shot with my camera. And yeah, that's actually again coming back to how photography is not a joke. It's like it's not easy.
True.
But I did that to test myself. Like I literally want to see how much I can creatively push myself. Not my own photos because I don't like taking photos of myself with a phone. But of just like, street life, like different places.
And no doubt about it. Sometimes the phone does a better job than the camera in terms of framing.
I guess because
Especially if you're talking about cityscapes and environments, definitely.
I mean, I don't like using the wide lens that much because again, the distortion, I still have to correct it in post. I mean, it's like literally like a curved image. So I mean, like again, like maybe cool kids today love that, but I'm not a cool kid, so it's like yeah, so that way you still have to correct it for distortion.
True.
But yeah, so that's what I did. But okay, so that was your missed shot. Okay, I'm trying to think. Has there been anything that I've really missed? No, actually, I don't think I've missed anything because the thing is, half the time when I've gone somewhere and they've told me I can't take a photograph because it's like restricted. So I'm like, I've not missed it because they just stopped me from even doing it. So I guess, yeah, maybe.
Probably in other forms of photography, whether it's still life or landscape, your subject isn't going anywhere either.
No, but I shoot, so I don't like street, and I've said this multiple times before, because I feel one thing is today we become so comfortable with people just randomly taking our photos anywhere we go. And I don't agree with that. In fact, again, I'm not going to mention the company and I might buy their product at some point, but with basically glasses, smart glasses, that's the problem, right? Nowadays, like, I mean, you think, okay, most people may not use it for the wrong reasons, and there'll be that one creep somewhere who will basically record something he's not supposed to record. And that's why I think, again, in India especially, or maybe all over the world, it's not being done fast enough, whether it's regulation against AI, like in Dubai for that matter. In Dubai, you cannot record people just like that. Yeah, you will get into big trouble if you do that in Dubai. And I think in India, it's like no one cares. They're like, yeah, it's okay. I'll just record whatever I want.
We've got a whole lot of other things to deal with.
In fact, yeah, we do. Of course we do. But at the same time, this is something that's going to cause issues also.
It is. And especially when people who approach street photography, that if it's out on the street, you have a right to shoot it. But then you're also encroaching in someone else's space. How people approach street photography, a lot of people, not just Indian photographers, but international photographers too, at times it feels a little derogatory too.
In Japan, there's one photographer, I forget his name. So he was apparently a Fuji ambassador also. So what he would do is, he would literally hunt his subject. Like suppose there's someone walking. He will literally come around you, start walking in front of you and start just taking shots.
Yeah.
And again, in my opinion, that's not correct.
No.
Like that's basically a form of harassment in a way. Like if someone did that to me, I don't think I'd react that politely. Like, it's like, and again, see, we are on the street. Again, it all depends, right? Like that whole, there's a thin line. Like, okay, I'm on the street, so of course, it's open season in a way, right? To shoot my photograph. But at the same time, if I don't want to be in that photograph, and if I see you taking my photograph,
you need to respect the other person.
Yeah, I can request you and say that, please delete my photo. I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a very funny thing I do, which is not many people are aware of. When I go to concerts and I go to like places where I don't want to be photographed, I wear a cap. Because then if someone's like taking a photo, they're taking a selfie, I just put my head down like this. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if it works, but I just move fast. Although in a phone, because the shutter speed is normally anyway set higher, in a phone I don't think it's like going to miss that much. It can if there are multiple subjects, but I try to just move my head fast so it gets a little blurry. But I don't know. Actually, I've never checked. These are just experiments I've done. Like I don't know if it works, but it's okay. Yeah. I should try that again. But again, coming back to you, Anu, is there anything else you'd like to tell us? Like, where do you see yourself going next, like in terms of photography?
So, I grew up in Assam. And while I see a whole lot of other areas in the country with respect to wildlife being represented really well. I still feel the whole representation of wildlife in the Northeast is lacking. So it is a dream project for me to do something over there. I'm working on it. I don't know how far I'll get, but I put the wheels in motion. So I would like to do something around that because there's a whole lot of exotic wildlife that you do get in the northeastern part of the country that is not found anywhere else.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
I would like to do something on those lines.
Okay, so I had another question that just came to my mind right now about the business side of things. So how have you managed to handle the business side of things? Because photography is a creative pursuit, but it's also a business, right? We have to juggle both sides, right? So how do you handle the business side of things?
So apart from me shooting for my own pleasure or happiness or whatever that it is, I do a whole lot of curated wildlife trips for people, and most of them are women-centric. So,
okay, that's great.
I work with a company based in the US, which works towards promoting wildlife to women, photography to women, and also we work towards making a whole lot of wildlife destinations accessible to women.
Okay.
Therefore, let's say, if someone's there in the US wants to come down to India, but then has these preconceived notions about what the country is all about. Is it safe, not safe? So we work on those lines, try and provide them that safe environment to come down here, do it, not just in India, but anywhere else in the world. So on the business or the money part of it, that's what I do. And most of it is women-centric, but then there are a whole lot of individual photographers also who would like, most of them, obviously, international photographers who would like to come down to India. They have specific species in mind, locations in mind. So...
Okay, have you done any masterclasses as such? Or have you had any, sessions where you teach people how to...
I do. I mean, I don't do that all that much, but I have worked in a classroom environment. So
okay, that's great.
Many years ago, I used to be associated with Canon, so I've done a whole lot of workshops for Canon.
Wow.
A lot of them also for women. That's where this whole thing kind of took off from. For women, for school children. I've even done a few workshops for officers in the forest services.
Okay,
so
that's
I've
great.
done one at the Dehradun, the Indira Gandhi Forest Academy in Mussoorie, which is where all these IAS, IPS officers go in for their final training. It's called the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy for Administrative Academy. I've done a couple of sessions there. So yeah, I've done the masterclass thing in quite a few cities.
Okay.
But I haven't done them in quite some time.
Okay.
Because everything else has taken precedence.
Of course. Yeah, because I think for all of the viewers who want to know, it's like being an artist is not easy for anyone. Whether you're an actor, whether you're a photographer, for any artist, it's not easy, right? Because we're moving, we're working, but it's it's a wave. So you literally have a lot of things happening, then there'll be a little slow period, then again it'll be high.
Yep.
So being an artist is not easy, but the fact that, anyone who chooses to be an artist, it's a step which is, again, it's commendable in some ways. I mean, anything anyone does is commendable, but the point is being an artist is a little difficult because you're not always aware of what's happening next, right? Something may just pop up magically and you'll be like, this is amazing. And then other times you'll be wondering, okay, when am I going to be doing this next? So being an artist, I've always said this myself because being in the movie industry, you cannot predict what's going to happen next. And I think maybe, I don't know, in photography, it's not exactly like that, but...
I would say in wildlife photography, it is. It's absolutely unpredictable.
I mean, you can't predict what's going to come in front of you. There may be some days where you're not able to capture anything.
I might be out doing what I'm doing for 10, 15 days straight and end up with not a single shot.
Okay.
So the predictability is actually fun.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that happens because even when I travel sometimes, there might be one day where I'm like, why did I even bring my camera? And and honestly, actually, coming back, so I've stopped not like I never leave my camera at home anymore now because I'm just like.
That's when something good happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because I learned that one day, like when I did not carry my telephoto, and I needed that telephoto that day, and I just missed out. I think I said I didn't really miss out, but yeah, I did miss out. And then I realized, okay, you should have at least. You need to have a camera on you because you never know what's going to suddenly come up. Like, oh, okay, this reminds me. So I was in Turkey in 2015, and let's just say that my camera got misplaced.
Okay.
That's a nice way of putting it. This is on the third day of my trip. I have 4 days left, and I was literally shooting everything with my Lumia 1520. And I regretted that so much. Like, all the places I saw, all the memories I had, I did not have my camera with me for the last 4 or 5 days of my trip. And it was just bad. Like, it almost felt like someone had tied one arm behind my back. And it was pretty bad. But I guess after that day, I just learned that, no carrying a camera in a small bag.
You have to hold on to it for dear life.
Yeah. In fact, I spent 3 hours in the police station trying to recover it, and they were very happy when I showed them that I had met Amir Khan sir. So they were very happy because in Turkey apparently they love Amir sir. So so they were happy about that, but they weren't really helpful in finding my camera. So I guess at least the helpful police officers over there, well, they at least were happy about something. Anu, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to aspiring photographers or young photographers?
Well, be it any form of photography, what I would say is first learn to be observant. You can be shooting any genre of photography, but if you're observant, you'll find certain nuances that you can try and capture in your images, which will probably give it a life of its own. And if I was to bring that whole concept back to wildlife, understanding your subject, respecting your subject, and then going forward with the photography part of it will help any individual become a better photographer. Because if I was to talk about wildlife, you can go out there, see something and shoot. But if you have an understanding of the subject, you can actually wait for something else to happen. And if you have an understanding, you know when that can happen.
Okay.
So that'll help you create better images, better photographs, also end up being a better individual as such, with a greater understanding for nature and wildlife.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So I had one more question. You've been part of House of Creativity since the beginning. And in fact, we haven't really talked about anywhere yet, but this year we're planning our next exhibition. We're hoping to focus more on our photographers.
Okay,
because
that's nice.
Because all our shows so far have had a primary focus on artworks. But we want to focus on photography this time. So we're going to figure it out. Like, we're going to talk to our partners who we work with for the next show, and then we're going to figure it out. And also we're hoping that, again, this is all early, talking about it a little bit prematurely, but we're planning on doing something in Dubai if everything falls into place for our next, for another show this year. But I want to ask you about House of Creativity. Like, what do you feel like a platform of House of Creativity? How does it help artists?
To begin with, I think when I got to know about the whole thing and House of Creativity as a concept being one single platform for artists, be it painters, sculptors, photographers, it was really nice to have someone think about bringing all these art forms under one roof. And I know you've done a whole lot of work around promoting painters and other artists across, and I'm sure that's helped them a lot individually and also worked very well for House of Creativity. So having a platform like this which helps you grow and also helps you get some sort of exposure, but overall promote any kind of art form, that's really great, because artists or art does need some sort of a vocal voice which gives them a space to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly speaking, I've always been grateful to every artist who's been with us. And since you've been with us from the start, we have a few artists who've stuck by us. right? Like some years have been like amazing for House of Creativity. Some years have been a little slow, like I said, because art is not predictable. There are no fixed results every year. It's not toothpaste. You're not buying it every month, right? So, but we've had some amazing moments, and like again, I'm thankful that whoever's been with us, like you other artists who've been with us from the start, we're always thankful to have you with us. And we always look forward to growing with you all, because when you all grow, then we grow. It's just very simple as that. But it's been great talking to you, Anu. And
it was fun being here.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. We're doing In Conversation series after a while, but really great having you. And again, because you're a photographer, it's been really good. We had our first guest was a calligrapher. The second guest was a painter, and now we have a photographer. So I think that's just fun for us also, giving everyone different viewpoints, exposure to different skill sets. And it's always great having someone like you on it. So thank you, Anu.
Thank you so much for having it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.